Hey guys, what's up? Nine on here. Today I'll be going over some Brawl tips. Brawl personally is my favorite game mode. I just love it so much because you can earn trophies so quickly. So yeah, this is why I thought, it'd be good to make a tips video on it. Okay, so yeah, let's get into the first tip. The first tip is to use tanks such as El Primo or Frank. My favorite is definitely Frank for Brawl. My favorite brawler for Brawl, like full stop, is Frank. So yeah, the reason you want to use a tank like El Primo or Frank is because they have so much health, they can just absorb so much damage. Because if El Primo gets the ball, or if Frank gets the ball and he goes to a bush near like their goal, he can literally just walk straight into the goal. Or if he has the ball and say like one of the enemies are dead, he can just walk straight into the goal basically, and you'll see that in some of the matches that I play. So for that reason, he's really powerful because they can just absorb so much damage. So if you're playing with two of your teammates, definitely one of you should be going a tank. And if you're not, it's not a bad idea to queue up with randoms as a tank because it really helps out. And like having two tanks is much better than having no tanks. And the next tip is to use brawlers who are able to destroy obstacles and walls, like with their super, because it's very helpful in offense. Examples of brawlers would be Shelly, Colt, Bull, El Primo, and Dynamite. Those are the brawlers that can destroy stuff with their super. I wouldn't use Dynamite, but Shelly, Bull, and El Primo definitely, because El Primo and Shelly are definitely the best. It's like Bull just goes in like a line kind of. So like they can break a whole section of a wall, which allows your teammates to shoot from much further distance. So say you have your super, you can literally score from halfway line if you use your super to shoot. So that's why breaking obstacles are really valuable and stuff. So brawlers who can like destroy obstacles are very important and can help a lot in offense and scoring. And the next tip would be this one's very good to use. It's to pass the ball to your enemy, because it means they won't be able to attack. So the only situation where you wouldn't want to do this would be if it's very close to your goal, because you could pass it to the enemy and they could just shoot it straight in. So you don't do it if it's close to your goal, but if it's not close to your goal, it can be a very good thing to do. So when you pass the ball to your enemy, when they're holding the ball, because they automatically pick it up, they can't shoot while they're holding it. So basically, briefly, they can't deal any damage to you. So that gives you time to shoot them and stuff, and you can kill them and stuff because they have the ball, they have to get rid of it and stuff, they have to shoot it away, and in that time you'll be able to charge off your shots and shoot them. So that's definitely a good tip, a really good tip to pass the ball to your enemies and kill them, and then regain the ball and then score basically. But don't do it close to your goal, or they might score. And the next tip is is if you see that El Primo is aiming his super towards you, or not toward, you can't see if it's aiming it towards you, but if they're probably gonna jump onto you, if you have the ball, pass the ball to someone else definitely, because when El Primo jumps onto you, he basically knocks the ball from you, and if it's close to your goal, El Primo could jump onto you, the ball will be knocked away from you, he'll pick up the ball, and he can just walk straight into the goal if it's close. So you definitely want to be passing it away if an El Primo is going to be jumping towards you. That one's quite specific, but if an El Primo does jump onto you and it's close to your goal, that's an immediate goal for them. So while it might not happen often, when it does happen, it's very good to know that the El Primo will be able to do that. And the next one, which I find very important, and I had to deal a lot with Frank, because in all the gameplay that you're seeing, I use Frank because he's my favorite brawler for Brawl, without a doubt. So yeah, I had problems with this a lot. It was trying to bait someone's super basically, because Frank, he's one of those brawlers whose super can be denied by someone's knockback super. So Shelly, if Frank is swinging his super in the air and then Shelly shoots her super towards Frank, Frank's super will completely be denied. And same with El Primo. If El Primo jumps onto Frank while he's doing his super, Frank's super will be denied. So I had a lot of problems with that, where I was trying to use my super at the very beginning of the round, and then Shelly would just use her, since Shelly and El Primo are both popular and stuff, and then I would have my super wasted a lot of the time. So what you want to do is either like select your super and pretend like you're about to aim it, because maybe that will mean that your enemy Shelly will think, oh well, he's about to aim his Frank super, I might as well use my super, deny his and get some damage. But then instead you don't actually shoot it and they like use their super, then you can use yours afterwards. Or you can just like wait for them to use their super and then just use yours after that. So I had a lot of problems with that as Frank, but in the future, like I'll definitely be baiting out their super basically. So now we've gone through the tips, and I'm going to go on to the best brawlers for Brawl. I'll go into the best ones, and then like the ones who are also like pretty good, like who can be very good, and then like the third tier will be ones who are okay, but you shouldn't you should use the other ones if you can. And if they're not on the list, that means that they are either a legendary, because the list isn't going to have any legendaries, because like Leon, Spike, Crow gonna all be in like top tier or second tier. Yeah, the list has no legendaries, and if they're not on the list, then they're just probably not good. They're not good for Brawl. So in the top tier is Shelly, Frank, Tara, El Primo, Jesse, Bull, and Mortis. Jessie is fairly not fairly map specific, but on a couple of maps she won't work, but like she works on most maps and she can be very, very effective. So I'll just go in order, starting with Shelly. The reason Shelly is so good is because it's basically almost everything is close range. Like you start off and your team will literally get into a close range fight immediately as you go for the ball, and Shelly's really, really good with that, because if there's someone walking down and she shoots all 3 of her shots, she can deal like 6,000 damage very quickly, get her super, deal another like 3,000 damage, and then they're killed and stuff. So Shelly's definitely really, really good for this, and her super can destroy obstacles. That's a very, very important thing as well. The next one is Frank. I really like Frank. I play Frank in 90% of my Brawl matches. I probably mentioned that I like Frank so much, but anyway, I'll just get on to why I use him. It's because just like Shelly and the others, and Colt and El Primo, his super can destroy obstacles. I forgot to mention that before, but his super can also destroy obstacles like on walls and stuff, and his attack is very, very large. It can destroy a whole bunch of walls of obstacles. And also at the beginning of the round, all 3 of the enemy are clumped together in one kind of area, and if Frank uses his super onto that, then and he gets all 3 of them, then he can immediately use his super again. So Frank needs 3 hits to get his super. So he needs to hit someone 3 times, or hit 3 people in one go. So if he's able to hit 3 of the enemies, like all 3 enemies in one go, he will immediately recharge his super, be able to hit them again and again, and then that's an easy team wipe. If he's able to hit all 3, that's a guaranteed team wipe. And even if he can just hit 2 or even just 1, that person's going to be dead. So Frank is just insanely powerful at the beginning of rounds. And there are a lot of matches that I had that ended in 30 seconds. I had several matches in 26, 28, and my lowest was 24 seconds. So yeah, that's just really, really good Frank, because he can just destroy really, really quickly. And the next one is Tara. Tara's really, really good in Brawl, possibly one of the best, if not the best, because her super can bring everyone together and kill them and stuff, and her attack is long range, short range and stuff like that. So Tara's just a really, really good all-round brawler for Brawl, because her super is just so powerful, because if someone's holding the ball, her super will basically make them let go of the ball basically, and it will kill them as well, and so you'll be able to take the ball into the goal. And the next one is El Primo. El Primo, his super, if he can jump onto all 3 of them, that's so much damage straight away. He's really tanky, he can absorb so much. So yeah, El Primo is just a really, really good brawler. And the next one is Jessie. I really like Jessie in Brawl. I played her a bit because her bullets, her orbs that she shoots can jump from person to person. So she can shoot one orb down, and that's going to bounce from each person, and that's just 2,000-3,000 damage just because her orbs bounce. Because at the beginning of Brawl matches, everyone's kind of clumped together, going for the ball. No one's spread out at all. So yeah, that rhymed, whatever. So Jessie's orbs will do so much damage there as they bounce. So that's why she's really good, and her turret like, helps as well. And the next one's Bull. I really like Bull in Brawl because of his attack. Basically, it's close range. He has a lot of health. You know, it's exactly what you need in Brawl because all of the fights are pretty much close range, and you know his super can destroy walls as well. So Bull's a really good brawler in Brawl. And the final person on this tier is going to be Mortis. You probably all expected him. Mortis is so good in Brawl because he can basically shoot the ball in front of him, use his attack, and then get to the ball. So he can cover like half the map in maybe like 3-4 seconds if like he's uninterrupted and stuff. So say your other two teammates are distracting, and then you just literally cover the entire map with Mortis, and you've basically like scored, and you're about to win, something like that. So yeah, Mortis is just so good in Brawl. It's probably Mortis's like only good mode, to be honest, but like he's so powerful in Brawl if you can play him right and you have like good teammates as well. So the second tier, I have Poco, Penny, Brock, Dynamite, Barley, and Colt. I'll go through these ones a bit faster. Poco's good because he has a massive attack. A bunch of people will be together at the start, so you can just shoot his attack onto all of them, dealing 700 damage like times 3, 2100 damage, or like 2400 if you have him like high level. So you can just deal so much damage. His heal can help out so much in fights, because if like your two teammates are fighting the enemies and then they're on low health, the enemies are on low health, and you just heal them up and they get back to full health, then like that's basically the fight won and then the goal for you. And after it's Penny. Penny's really good because when she shoots, her like the gold comes out of her bullet and does like splash. And so when they're at the very beginning of rounds, there's like one person in front and then people behind. If you shoot the first person with Penny, the like splash will go behind and then damage all the other people and just deal thousands and thousands of damage. Like if you get lucky with like Penny's shots, you can just be insane. Next one's Brock. Brock's similar to Jesse, apart from the fact like his rockets don't bounce onto other people. He can shoot at like people straight away, and then he can get his super relatively quickly, and basically destroy a few brawlers because people are like close together and stuff. So at the beginning of a round, if you have your super with Brock, you can just straight away put it onto their side, and they'll like take a lot of damage. The next one's Dynamite and Barley. I'll just review these ones together. Like Dynamite can destroy the walls. But apart from that, like they both control. I think Dynamite would be better just because like he does more damage, and that's kind of what you need. But like they both work in the same way. They can both like attack over from walls, because there are lots of walls. And yeah, that's why Dynamite and Barley are both good. And the final one is Colt. I was thinking about putting Colt in the top one, but then I thought I'd put him in the second one. He's really good because his ability does so much damage, and especially his super, it pierces through. So at the beginning, when everyone's like together and stuff, everyone's like clumped together, his super can pierce through all of them, and also like his super will destroy the walls and stuff like that. So that's why Colt is really good in this. And that was the second tier, all of the brawlers for the second tier. So yeah, I only have two brawlers for the third tier, and they're Daryl and Pam. Daryl can be okay, but it's probably best not to play him because like he doesn't do that much damage. But if you have like his star power and stuff, where he takes 30% less damage for 3.5 seconds after his super, he can be pretty good because once you get into all those fights and like people are shooting at you, 30% becomes a lot of health, that you didn't lose. So you can like kind of act as a tank, because even though he only has like say 5,600 health at max, if you have that 30% thing like activated, that becomes a bunch more very quickly. So yeah, that's why Daryl's like okay. And the next one is Pam. Pam's pretty good because like her healing thing does really helps out. If you plant it into the center, it can heal everyone. Also her attack is like ranged and stuff, so like you can shoot people from far away, and also really close range. If you get all of her scrap on target, it can deal so much damage to enemies. So yeah, those are all the best brawlers. And yeah, so I've got one final tip, just because I just remembered it now, that I actually used in a few of my matches, and it was if you have your super and you're carrying the ball, try to position yourself somewhere far away, or somewhere where the enemies wouldn't expect you, to be, that you can actually shoot into the goal. Because with Frank, I found a position on the left in a bush. I was like in a bush, and I could literally shoot directly into the goal with my super. So that's just another small tip. If you have your super, if you have the ball, you can try to go to like that left bush bit and just shoot it directly into the goal. Obviously, like with different maps, it's not going to be the same, but just for that map, I found that. And with other maps, you could find other ways that the ball could like be shot into the goal from far away. So yeah, this was a fairly long video. Hope you liked it. Hope you learned something. So yeah, just comment down below any suggestions for future videos, or just questions in general, or just anything in general. And yeah, I'll see you in the next time. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.